So a couple of days ago, I ordered this really cool screwdriver set off of Amazon. I forgot the name of it, but I think it's pretty much the first thing that shows up when you search for Game Bit screwdriver. This one wasn't included. This came with my Game Boy Advance SP. This one here is a tri-wing screwdriver. It can be used to open up, I believe, the back of certain controllers. I also think I used it to open up my GameCube. And these two here are used for opening up pretty much every Nintendo and Sega cartridge from the 80s all the way up until, I want to say, the Nintendo 64. I'm not sure. This is the bigger star screw, the smaller star screw. And the bigger star screw is used to, my apologies, the smaller star screw is used to open up Super Famicom and Super Nintendo cartridges. And what's really unique is that it opens up from the front. If I recall, most Super Nintendo cartridges, I think, open up from the back. I'm not sure. And after unscrewing these, it'll also prove to be a bit unusual how these cartridges open up. Typically speaking, the board of a cartridge, upon opening up the plastic shell, when you open it up, you'll see the circuitry, like the boards, the chips, and everything from the front. But with the Super Famicom cartridge, it's actually on backwards. So the cartridge is oriented front-wise, but the board itself is backwards, and this is what it looks like.
Wow.
This is where all the chips are, see?
Unbelievable.
Probably the first time it's been opened up since it was produced. It's hard to say, but I'm not too sure how many people actually bothered opening these up back in the day. But it says copyright 1992 Nintendo, and this game did come out in 1992 in Japan. It's Ranma 1/2. Forgot the Japanese title, but it's Hard Battle in America. So you got your chips there. You can see it upside down. I must say I don't know what they do, but it's because that these chips are here and that they can be produced in different ways. Super Famicom games can come in varying sizes of megabytes and such, just like the NES did. So, and also this cartridge does not have a save battery on it. There's no save function in this game. Usually, to cut down on costs, a lot of games back then didn't actually have save functions. They would just have passwords. In this case, there's not even a password function for this game, so if you get a high score, you pretty much got to take a picture of it to record it or something. But it's pretty much a fairly cheaply produced game for a Super Famicom game, I believe. So I want to go ahead and seat that back in. Let's see here. I think it goes like this. The grooves actually fit the way it's supposed to. Like this is going to go up top. That's on bottom. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to... So yeah, it's backwards, which is pretty quirky. But I'm going to snap that back in and just screw it like so. It's really easy to take it apart, really easy to screw it back in. Just like that. I would not advise dropping the screwdriver, like I just did. Okay, I'm going to screw the other one in too. Alright.
Well, that's all it is. It's just one big fat circuit board.
Yeah, inside a plastic cartridge.
Inside a plastic cartilage.
That's right, inside a plastic cartilage. And so another thing we can try doing is, I think this is interesting. We're going to take one of our NES games here, Metroid Rogue Dawn. Let's try that one.
Yes.
So this is actually a reproduction of the Metroid hack. It's very well made. The cartridge is just completely identical to the original. I mean, it just looks legit. Nothing about it feels fake. The label feels legitimate. And this uses, I think this uses the same screwdriver. Yeah, it does. It uses the same screws. And it uses 3 screws, 2 for the bottom, 1 for the middle. When the NES first came out in 1985, the original cartridges used 5 screws. 2 here, 1 here, and 2 up top. And I think later on Nintendo probably realized that many screws were excessive, so they just cut it down to 3. And certain NES games that have a 5-screw variant, like Mega Man, are actually very sought after and very expensive. The NES version of the first Mega Man on its own is very sought after, but the 5-screw variant is especially sought after. Okay. So I want to go ahead and unscrew this real quick. I think I got it all the way. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I want to go ahead and lift that up.
I've been thinking about video games all day.
Yep. Okay, and actually the board on this is backwards too. I'm thinking of the Game Boy games that are actually front oriented. So that's right. This is the whole game right here. This is the entire game.
Wow, unbelievable.
And all of this is just empty space. Nintendo did this to make the games look big, ungamey, and appealing to the American masses back then. The cartridges are literally 80% empty space on the inside. And if you look here, you can actually see that's kind of wedged in there, like really solid. I don't want to pick it up, but if you look in there, you'll see the save battery. And it's fixed really, really well. That's how the game progress is saved. So, yeah, it's reproduction, and it looks really, really solid. It's extremely well made.
See the information.
Mm-hmm. It's probably not going to have any of Nintendo's info on it because it is a repro. But, yeah, it does not look like a cheaply made board at all. It looks very well made. So, yeah. So that's an NES cartridge.
All of this whole entire game on one single small board.
Yeah, it really is. And these little chips are what expands the memory of the games. That's what makes it so big. Like this game in particular, for an NES game, obviously it's very, very big because it's a ROM hack of the original Metroid.